Yo, what is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 4 of our Football Manager 2015 playthrough here with Arsenal. And today I've got for you guys a clash at the top of the table as we will be taking on Chelsea. Hopefully you guys are good. Today, as I mentioned, we have that. But first and foremost, let's have a look at the fixtures. And since the last game, it's been pretty hit and miss, mostly miss. Unfortunately for us, in the 3 games we've played, we've had 2 defeats and 1 win. The defeats coming against Everton, which I'm about to show you here, and the other against Shakhtar. However, we did bounce back last game, beating 4th place Newcastle United 4-0. So that was a nice way to kind of maybe get ourselves back on track. But today is going to be an incredibly tough game as we are going to be playing away against Chelsea. Of course, this season so far, we have a fairly good record against the big teams in the league, having already beaten Manchester United. And of course, we did beat Tottenham last episode in the League Cup. But anyway, this game here was a bit of a disappointing one. Defensive mistakes really cost us. 2 mishit back passes in the space of 5 minutes lost us the game from 2-1 up with, I think it was 10 minutes left, which is pretty tough to take. Of course, this is the Football Manager beta, as it says in the bottom left, so I do feel like there is maybe an issue with back passes. Hopefully that's something that will be fixed, but it certainly cost us this game. As you can see, Lukaku getting Everton on equal terms 30 seconds into the second half, and that hurt. Fortunately for us, from there we did get a goal. I believe it was a Distin own goal as the ball came whipped in from the left-hand side. But yeah, this was pretty tough to take. Mistakes by both our centre-backs costing us dearly here. Sterling applying some pressure there to get a forced error, I guess, in from Distin. However, as I mentioned, last 10 minutes, our defenders lost the plot. Our direct passing kind of team instruction clearly wasn't heeded by the centre-backs as they decided amongst themselves they were going to sabotage any attempts for us to win the game. The first back pass here by Belanta, I think it was, and the other one was by Koscielny, which is pretty disappointing. And it's just these little defensive mistakes which have cost us. Everton were 5th in the league at the time of playing them, so it wasn't necessarily the easiest game in the world, but it was certainly a game that we'll look back on as a game that we really should have won, and the 2 mistakes that happened were unnecessary mistakes. Not only that, but we had 5 clear-cut chances, only taking 2 of them. That was an issue that I kind of identified against Tottenham. It kind of reared its ugly head here, and it cost us this game. And as I mentioned, there was another defensive mistake at the back, I believe, that let Lukaku win for his hat-trick, which was deeply, deeply, deeply disappointing. Just the circumstances behind this defeat, it should never have happened. It was a game that we should have been way ahead in, and ultimately just some poor defensive kind of judgment have cost us. So that was that defeat. The next game was in the Champions League away against Shakhtar, and we got absolutely spanked. They stuffed us. I got it tactically wrong. It was mistakes on my behalf. I rotated the squad a tiny bit, gave players like Ozil a rest, and it came back to bite us. Not a lot of excuses to give there, other than that we weren't good enough, and on the night, Shakhtar deserved that commanding lead. That result does mean in the Champions League group right now, we are bottom with Monaco yet to play. We're yet to play Monaco. Fortunately for us, both Monaco and Ajax have drawn their first 2 games 0-0, so things really aren't quite as terrible as they could have been. At this point, there was a chance that we could have been obviously 6 points off the pace, but results have gone our way, and that's helped us out quite a lot. Anyway, the last league game was the 4-0 win against Newcastle. Already talked about this a little bit, but this was a really, really good performance. Ozil's goal, the second goal of the game, was a really nice move, and you guys will hopefully enjoy seeing this. I believe it was some great link-up play between Ozil, Sterling and Royce out on the left. Royce grabbing himself a brace, 2-1 coming from the spot. This was against a very strong Newcastle side, a Newcastle side who has been doing incredibly well in the league, so I was delighted with this performance. As you can see there, Ozil with the initial shot on that goal. Royce mopping up the rebound for us. So that was a good goal. And this is just a nice bounce back, I guess. We've had 2 very poor results. The first one against Everton isn't really excusable because the mistakes cost us and we didn't take chances that came our way. Against Shakhtar, we didn't turn up, we didn't play, and that was tough to take. However, since then, with this result, I've got a little bit more faith in us to kind of, up our performances. So it was 2-0 at the break, and we did finish things up by grabbing two more goals early on in the second half. I was able to take the foot off the gas a little bit and make some changes, which helped. Sanchez there getting a goal on his return from his injury. Anyway, the last goal was a penalty, so I won't show it too much. But looking at our squad here, you can see that we're fairly good in terms of players. Condition is a tiny bit on the low side for this Chelsea game. That is, in fact, due to the fact that we've just had an international break, so some of these players have been playing in internationals. We have got an issue where Koscielny's come back from international duty with a strained back, so unfortunately he is going to be a miss at the back, which is a little bit of a shame. Fortunately, on the kind of flip side, I guess, injury-wise, besides that, this is the most fit our team's been. Theo Walcott is now back training with the squad. He's not got match fitness and his condition certainly isn't 100%, but he's there. Raheem Sterling is on the bench today because his fitness is a little bit hit and miss. Looking at the actual average ratings, you can see here Oxlade-Chamberlain, Alexis Sanchez, Sterling and Marcelo playing really well, particularly the guys with above a 7.5 average rating. On the goals front, Oxlade-Chamberlain with 6, Giroud with 5, 4 for Royce, 3 for Sanchez, 3 for Sterling. It's really good to see the goals kind of being shared around. Obviously, we play with one up front and then 3 very attacking midfielders who I'm looking to all contribute on the goals this year. And to kind of see a nice even spread is good to see. On the assist charts, Raheem Sterling is the big man on campus. At the start of the season, £42 million was a bit of a risk. Right now, 9 assists and 3 goals in 11 games. He's looking like the risk is going to pay off. He's played very, very well. Obviously, it is still early days. But right now, he's playing very well for England. He's improving a lot as a player. And long may that continue. So anyway, we aren't going to go into today's game against Chelsea. It's not going to be an easy game by any means. Because we are, of course, away from home. Chelsea are currently second in the league. Manchester City are top. I believe they're 5 points ahead of us now because of that slip-up we had against Everton. All the teams have played the same amount of games. In fact, you can see it here. We're only 4 points behind City. A win today would see us leapfrog Chelsea into second. If we lose here, going 8 games into the season to have 5 wins, 3 defeats, it wouldn't be ideal, particularly when you consider that some of the defeats came against Hull City and Everton. So anyway, let's get into today's game. Do the dugout the dugout interview really quick, because I'm trying to get my media handling up on this save. I'm going to tell the players that no one really expects us to get a result here because we've been a bit hit and miss, but I've got faith in them. I've got faith in the likes of Royce, Sanchez, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Khedira, Ozil to really boss a midfield here. I feel like we can go toe-to-toe with Chelsea, who are debatably the team possessing the most quality in the league. So anyway, get your feedback as always in the chat. I do enjoy reading the chat because it's always interesting, because very often people point out stuff that I've missed just from watching the videos. If you've got any questions, as always, leave them down below with regards to the save. But we'll see how we get on here as Debuchy puts in a nice little tackle. Mertesacker, of course, being drafted into the team with Koscielny. Out injured. Hopefully his lack of pace isn't going to cost us too much. He's still a very experienced head, and we're lucky to have a backup kind of option in him and a rotation option in him. I've kind of been playing Balanta a little bit more than I expected, just because I'm liking him and Koscielny as a kind of defensive partnership. Both of them possessing fantastic pace, which kind of helps out, and both very athletic players. But anyway, Chelsea here on the attack. Marcelo breaks down the play. He is settled into the side very nicely. Marcelo did a great job defensively, and there is a lot of talk of him being recalled to the Brazil squad because he's actually been dropped in this Football Manager save. But there's a lot of talk of him coming back post-World Cup to really make a difference for the Brazil side. But anyway, we're on the attack here. Alexis Sanchez with some space, cuts inside, cannot direct his shot goalwards. 10 minutes in, it's still 0-0. Royce here, though, with an opportunity. He hits it. It's parried away. Royce. Sanchez. Parried away again. Is it in? It's not in. That's the side netting heartbreak there. A fantastic set of opportunities, but unfortunately we could not find a way through. And now Chelsea with a chance there, but it is broken down. Looking at this already, what an action-packed first 12 minutes. We're looking lively. May kick ourselves at not taking that chance. Royce there, very unselfishly crossing it. I would have rather he elected to shoot there, but unfortunately simply not going our way. But right now, Chelsea having a little bit more of the ball. They're kind of doing the home team performance, I guess, as you'd expect them to do. But we've created opportunities. I'm quite happy with how we're playing right now. Oxlade-Chamberlain with it here. A man who's been in fine form. Royce, the shadow striker, bursts through, hits it from range. And he can't find the target, unfortunately. But it's a good effort. We are looking incredibly lively. It's a very end-to-end game here. Curious to see Courtois with the number 13 shirt, but started in goal for Chelsea. So clearly they've stuck with Czech with the number 1 shirt. Um, but yeah, Courtois starting. I do think he's a little bit better than Czech this year. Oh gosh, Diego Costa with a chance here, takes it round the keeper, that he will make it 1-0. Just a little bit of a lapse of defensive kind of play there. Balanta with another really poor pass from the centre-back. It's an issue that's kind of creeped into our game, has been us giving the ball away in the deep areas. I'm already kind of weighing up, telling my my centre-backs to play the ball more direct. But anyway, I'm going to tell the players here that I've got faith in them. They're okay. We've done okay that half, but we really do need to step things up in the second half if at all possible. We've had some chances. We're yet to take them. I have got options on off the bench. I'm probably going to look to bring on Raheem Sterling. Should the opportunity kind of arise, or with kind of 60 minutes on the clock if we're still struggling to break down Chelsea. But you'd have to say it's not been a case of we're not creating chances. It's simply been those that have fallen our way we've not taken. As Diego Costa here trying to get on the break, Debuchy puts in a tackle, but Hazard, and we are caught short at the back as Cuadrado finds the back of their net. That did not look like it crossed the line in the 2D engine, but I will trust the game there. And I think it's time to make some tactical changes, guys, because right now we're not at the races. So I'm going to bring on Wiltshire, I think, for Khedira. Khedira, with a little bit of a discipline issue at the moment, actually. He's been getting a fair few bookings, which has been a little bit concerning. We'll bring on Raheem Sterling, and I'm going to bring him on for Sanchez, and then I'm going to move Royce out onto the left into his more natural position. I'm almost tempted to bring on Walcott. I'm going to bring on Walcott for Oxlade-Chamberlain for his kind of return to first-team football. Should get a good 25 minutes here. We are 2-0 down. We're going to try and just get some fresh legs in the midfield, going for their FM triple sub. But yeah, things are not looking too great here. We need to try and push higher up. We need to look for the overlap if possible, but time is not on our side here, although we might have an opportunity here as Wiltshire comes bursting through the middle, but it won't fall away. And now, well, whenever Diego Costa's running onto the ball like that, I am slightly terrified because we have such a slow team. But Giroud can't win it. Balanta misses an interception. He's out of position. Balanta potentially with another costly mistake. Fortunately, the woodwork comes to our rescue. You'd have to say that in not taking those opportunities that came our way early on, we didn't really get a lot of momentum in the game. Then Chelsea, of course, got that goal that came from a defensive mistake. And from there, they've really kind of been all over us this game. It's always going to be difficult going to Stamford Bridge. I've set out to try and attack, but right now, Chelsea just looking a little bit too strong for us. They've got confidence. They're playing with that kind of ebb and flow that I guess you'd expect of a Chelsea team. And, well, you can see here, they're quite comfortable in possession here. And Williams running through, ball into the centre. Diego Costa will make it free. This is beginning to get embarrassing, boys. Made some changes. It went after chasing the game. Of course, Chelsea are a fantastic side in Football Manager. But unfortunately for us, this is going to be our first defeat whilst live coming in the league, which is a shame. But fortunately, we've just not been at the races today. Another defensive mistake. It is starting to get a little bit concerning. I'm probably going to criticise some of my defenders and look to maybe seek ways that we can try and stamp out those kind of mistakes in our system, because it's costing us games. It cost us against Everton. It's cost us again today, really. And that is pretty disappointing to say, but that is going to be full-time there. That is all she wrote. Game is going to finish 3-0 to Chelsea. We were not good enough today. I wanted us to go toe-to-toe with Chelsea. I wanted us to show that we do really have some title credentials. But right there, we have just we didn't look like a team capable of winning the league with that kind of performance, and that is difficult to take. But anyway, that's a shame. We are still in third place, but there are plenty of teams behind us yet to play. It's worth noting the fact we've already played Chelsea, Newcastle, Everton, and Manchester United. So out in our first 8 games, we've played 4 of the top 6, and we are one of the top 6 teams. So hopefully our easier run of fixtures can kind of help us get back on the straight and narrow, because that is a little bit disappointing. We have got the Champions League coming up. I'm looking for us maybe to hit some form in there too. I would definitely see it as a failure if we didn't reach the knockout stages of the Champions League. Looking at the games which are coming up, there's quite a few games, but I'm probably going to have a longer-ish kind of hiatus between episodes, and we're going to go to, I think, the Liverpool game. I think I'm going to do quite a long break, so we're talking about a month and a half's time. There'll be a few more games to cover, a little bit more detail, and who knows, maybe I'll even do a double com if the Champions League game is a game which is going to be kind of a game that we are... that we are relying on winning against Shakhtar in order to get into the knockout stages. So anyway, hopefully I'll see you guys for that episode. As always, if you've enjoyed the video, smash the like button. It does help me out. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe for more Football Manager 2015 content. And other than that, guys, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.